here and look at each other for like an hour. Don't even say it. Look at each other. Oh. Let's see who's going to break first.
Nick broke.
Awesome. Hey, nothing better than competing with football. That's what we're doing tonight. Sunday night is not a normal night. Competing with it's funny. It's like Nick's on that Friday tip, and there's a lot of fucking competition Friday because people go out and shit on TV and shit like that. So Friday night's a tough night. We got a Vince McMahon on Friday night. We got to up that shit, make it hotter. That's what it's about. It's about putting ass. That's what we're doing here. What's up, everybody? My name is Dust Mites, and let's welcome everybody to the show. A new show we're trying to start out, or test the waters a little bit, called Deep Cover. Deep cover. I'm going deep cover.
Yes, this show is all about the 1993 movie with Jeff Goldblum and Lawrence Fishburne.
Yes. Cue the music. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. I can feel it. Basically, it's a comic book based podcast, mostly the older classic stuff from the older era before the shit hit the fan. And like we said, that one plastic fanatics is all not on. So why not? Let's try to delve into a little bit deeper to give people a little bit more information while James on hiatus. You know what I mean? Like he does those storylines, and maybe we could just dab a little bit into the comic book, I don't know, comic book fucking world. Yeah, vacation is starting off fucking fantastic right here. So we're gonna start talking about some old school comic books. We did it on Liquid Therapy, where we went through some covers of X-Men, and it sparked some interesting conversations. So I figured that's something that we could do here on The Realm. So thank you guys for joining me. And totally botched the intro. We're going to stop the broadcast and start all over again. I think it's because I got my heat on. It's pretty fucking warm in here. So yeah, my name is Dust Mites. Welcome to Deep Cover. I want to welcome our guest here, Darius. Agent H is in the house. The shit piece himself, Nick Brammer. Blanos is rocking with us. Just watch your hand. Don't snap your fingers. We're good. And that's it. Let's get going here, man. Let's talk about a little bit comic book shit, man. So let's start with Darius. Darius, what type of collector were you back in the day? Or still am?
I wasn't a major collector when I was a kid. I had a lot of comic books given to me from my uncle and my aunt. Because they were in the medical field, and they was taking care of Dennis O'Neil was one of the editors for DC Comics at the time, and to show his appreciation, he gave them hundreds and hundreds of DC Comics, and I started reading those as a kid, like 6 or 7 years old, and then by the time when I got to my my 12s or early 13s, I started reading more Marvel comics because my cousin was a collector, and he gave me his collection because he was done with it. So my major collection was given to me, was always a gift. And by the time that I was a teen, I was an avid fan, avid collector. Every Friday, go to Canarsie and make my 3 stops.
Where did you go?
I went to
we're from the same neighborhood, man. So we probably went to the same comic shop.
I went to Not Just Baseball Cards. That was on Avenue L.
Oh my God! Yes,
there was Jerry's. That was called Books and Comics.
Yeah. He was in that little hole in the wall.
Looked like a gremlin in his little cave.
Yeah, he was on Avenue M.
Avenue M.
Yeah.
But I am PS 115.
Yeah, right on the corner. Right
right there in the red square.
Wow, yeah. Wow, I went to the same fucking spot.
And then there was a comic book store on Flatlands Avenue right across from South Shore High School.
No, Bildersea. It was right across from Bildersea.
Yeah, Bildersea. Yeah, thank you. You're absolutely right.
Bildersea Junior High.
Junior High.
I went to Bildersea.
I can't remember the name of it for the life.
I can't remember either, but you had the Nosher on the corner too.
Yeah, the bagel shop. Yep, and
comics there too.
And then the last place I would go when I was every time with my family, it was called Bulletproof Comics, right there in the Broadway Junction in like Flatbush.
In
Avenue.
Flatbush, yeah.
By Brooklyn College.
Yeah, I would. I don't want to jump in here, but while we're talking about it, there was also a spot on Rockaway Parkway. It was called Monty's or Monty's.
It was like a little corner newsstand right there by the bus station.
It was across from the it was across from the train station, and it was in the middle of the block. And he sold comic books, collectible Corgi cars, the Corgi metal cars, and like. It sold like cards and fucking stationery. It was like a stationery store that, he was there, and I used to go to him first. And then another one opened up down towards the end of Rockaway Parkway towards where the fire station was.
Right.
It was right on the corner that the guys that used to have Fantastic Planet or something, Fantastic Voyage. It was a comic, Outer Limits. I think it was Outer Limits. It was on Utica Avenue. Remember on Utica Avenue?
Yes.
Yes. They opened up a second store, so that was open for a while there next to the airbrush place, where back in the 80s you used to get your airbrush fucking sweatshirts and shit, hats and shit. Yeah. Wow, that's funny, man. That's the same neighborhood, man. I used to go to all those spots, man.
And even there is a couple of little newsstand places I used to grab some couple of issues, like the little one right there across the street from the B42, that corner stand right there in Rockaway, right across the street from that wannabe Vim store. You know what I'm talking about? That
yeah. Oh yeah. Dude, then you must have been hitting like the Chinese spots like me for the bootleg Transformers and Robotech and shit like that. There used to be the wig shop. You go in there and
the luggage.
Yeah, you go in and you could get some. You could get like a fucking Wham! Make It Big shirt with fluorescent fucking. What was the bracelets called back in the day?
The
those
slap bracelets.
No, these were rubber. They were just like the rubber bracelets. They were just rubber fucking grommet bracelets. Everybody fucking wore them. Chinese slippers and shit.
Yeah,
you could get that all in that one spot, man.
Yeah, that's what sometimes when I do my toy hunts, I used to go to all those little Chinese gift shops areas.
Yeah, I mean, I was a kid. I had a fucking paper route, and I made maybe like $100-something a week, and I would get my money, go to Rockaway Parkway, hit Monty's up or Milty's. I think it was Milty's for comics. This is before the other store opened up. This is when I lived in Canarsie, and I would go to the Chinese spots for the bootleg and the KO. That's where I got like bootleg Diaclones and all this shit that I see now. I'm like, man, I used to have that shit as a kid. Valkyries even before Robotech was even a big thing here in the US. Man, awesome. So yeah, man, we're definitely from the same era, and I keep forgetting that we're like from the same fucking area around the same fucking time. Like we probably bumped heads and we didn't even fucking
probably.
That's awesome, man. So we'll keep it moving here. Nick, tell us a little bit about your comic, the Reader's Digest version of your comic experience.
Basically,
I know it's pretty big.
Basically, in the 80s, my cousin went off to serve, and he got assigned to Korea. So he was in the DMZ, and he left me his comics. And I started off with like Simonson's Thor, like all the old school Amazing Spider-Man.
And I think me and Darius are a lot older than you, probably by, I don't know, but anywhere from 8 to 10 years, maybe.
I'm 39.
Oh, okay. I'm just a year older than you then.
Well, okay. I guess I'm the oldest one. I'm the one that's 8 to 10 years older than you motherfuckers.
Yeah. So that's what I started with, and I kept going strong through the 90s. You know, all the little books that popped up: New Warriors, Darkhawk.
Okay, so that's when you were coming up. Was with that when it was starting to peak, right before the peak era.
Yeah.
The good time. I mean, that
was a good time. I mean, like
really good fucking time, man.
I love the Darkhawk series. There were some great artists back then, from Mark Bagley, Ron Lim.
All coming up out of nowhere, man.
Yeah. Andy Kubert was coming up after his dad.
I would buy a book no matter how bad the story was if the art was good.
That's great. Yeah, that's the same way. And that's what I loved about the What If series, because a lot of the legends started off the
we were talking about that earlier off air, like the Marvel Comics Presents.
Yep.
That was that line was shit. Nobody gave a fuck about that book, but it was basically stories that were broken into 4 different parts or on multiple issues, and there was 4 different stories per book. So you got little parts. Each book was like broken down to 4 separate stories, but you only got a little bit part of that arc. You had to keep buying the issues, and you had like artists that were coming up, and like Sam Keith got to start there, and you know.
Jim Lee did,
early stuff, and like I go back and look at it now, and I'm like, wow, you know,
Eric Larson, everybody, you know,
yeah, man, what a great fucking time, and that's why I wanted to really, and this is no disrespect to like modern books at all, but I wanted to like pay homage to like the older artists and the older writers and the older time. Where some of the shit was campy, some of the shit was corny, and they make fun of Liefeld with the feet and the fucking bulky fucking, but you know, at the time that was the shit. And if you go back and look at some of these books and you look past the Liefeld-isms, you're just like, man, this is some good fucking shit, man. You know, from back then, man. It's from where we were to there.
And it was also the time when they were starting using new technology for produced and publishing comic books. Like they were starting using digital coloring programs like Electric Crayon and Digital Chameleon. And that time period was, even there was it was getting to the point of the crash, but like, just imagine, I remember reading one of the X-Men books with Joe Madura doing the artwork, and they used one of the Digital Chameleon programs, and the colors was just outstanding, you know,
very vibrant
and very vibrant.
Well, you know, that's an awesome topic to bank and talk about, you know, on another show where we could talk about, you know, how it started from fucking the pen and pad to, you know, what we got today. So
yeah, and they also started changing the paper stock around.
Paper, exactly. It was more glossy than
guys. Real quick, just to sidebar here, but when I started collecting the comics for 35 cents, that's when I got into comic book collecting. And you know, it's funny. It's like I remember eras of comics and how good stuff was from price points. Like I remember 35 for a while, then it went to the 40, and then 60 was a big jump.
60 is when I started buying.
Yep, that was a good time, and then it went to 75. Remember the 75 jump, and then it went to $1. Then it went to $1.
Then it was $1.25, and then
annuals were $1.50.
Yeah,
and then they had, then they had all those storylines running through them.
Yeah.
Oh man, they got us, man. They got us hook, line, and sinker, man. They got us hook, line, and sinker. All the
crossovers. It was like so many crossovers I can remember, from Valiant and Image crossover, from Dark Horse crossovers.
Dude, I remember back in the day, which was a great book that blew my mind. It was the X-Men and Teen Titans.
Yes.
What a great fucking book.
It was a one-shot crossover.
Yes. What a great fucking book.
It had the artwork with Marv Wolfman or Walt Simonson.
I think it was Simonson.
Yeah.
Oh my God! What a great fucking book! The Phoenix was running rampant, and you had Darkseid in it. It was fucking incredible, and that's funny. That's definitely going to be a book that we talk about if we continue this. So I really hope that Deep Cover picks off, because, you know, even though we're still going to talk about it, I'll give a fuck if you guys want it or not. I don't care if there's 3 views. But yeah, man, I hate to fucking stop the conversation here when it's going so hot, but I just want to get these fucking intros over, because usually it takes a fucking hour. Yeah. So Nick, finish up.
Yeah, so basically that's it. And then I was so heavy into the 90s stuff, especially like Midnight Suns. That was my jam. The new Ghost Rider with Mackie, and, you know, Texera.
Yeah, Texera, man. Woof, man, a hot artist, man. Hot artist, killing it.
I even remember the first comic I bought with my own money. It was Wolverine 18. It looked like shit, but like for some reason, Rough House was on the cover, and he fucking hooked me in. And I was like, oh shit, what's this?
It's funny, and I'm gonna one of the first. I was always attracted to the X-Men for some reason. Uncanny X-Men. That's and it was I got in right before the Dark Phoenix saga. That's how far I go back. That's a 35-second. Nice. So Walt, man, talk to us a little bit about your comic book collecting history in a nutshell here, real quick. When was your era? What did you like? DC, Marvel? What's up?
For Marvel, my very first comic book was Fantastic Four. It was either in the 260s or 270s. It had the thing on the cover. and he was fighting Frankenstein. I can't remember what issue it was, but I know that was one of them. It's one of my favorite issues there, and therefore I got into Spider-Man and Transformers. My very first Spider-Man I picked up was 252 newsstand. It was at 7-Eleven on the west side of Chicago.
Yeah, I remember 7-Eleven, going to 7-Eleven, getting the newsstand variant with the UPC code on it.
Yep.
Yep, and therefore I went with Transformers until they canceled it until like 91, and therefore got back into Spider-Man until when Maximum Carnage hit, I got hooked in. Been collecting Spidey ever since.
Really? You're still going strong now?
Yes.
Nice.
Still am.
Awesome. So you're happy with the 5 pages of dialogue and
it's strange, man. So
yeah, the artsy fartsy fucking artwork that we get now that looks like a Picasso painting and not really a comic book. You're cool with that? I'm not hating. The old man's not hating. But
I mean, don't get me wrong. I have expanded there too, from Spider-Man to Wolverine, which was very good. Daredevil. When they did the Marvel Knights and the Marvel Max shit, that was good, especially the Punisher shit.
Yeah. When did the Knights come out? When was that? Because I
98.
I remember briefly. I think I was on my way out at that time.
Yeah, it's the 20th anniversary of Marvel this year.
It was Blade, Daredevil, Inhumans,
and Black Panther.
Yes.
And that fucked up Punisher book.
Yeah. That was that, and the Max was Nick Fury, and the Punisher had that. It was part of that line.
Cool.
Oh, it was crazy. I love those series.
Awesome, man. And like for me, I'm an old school fool, man. I started, like I said, Uncanny for some reason. I remember, it goes even further back. I remember my mom. We used to go. My mom was friends with the guy from fucking the Avenue M comic book, Jerry's. What the fuck was the name of the place?
Books and Comics.
It was Jerry's. But yeah, she used to go. She used to go because my mom used to collect comics when she was younger. So she used to go to Jerry's because she lived over by right off Avenue M. I mean, you know where Pop Cleese is?
Mm-hmm.
You know Pop Cleese, where you buy the bait and play some pool, to go fishing and shit. Yeah, because the pier is real close to the Canarsie Pier.
Yeah.
She used to live over there, so she used to collect. She actually collect comic books like back in the day. And I remember she bought me an old Shazam book when I was really young, and I was a stupid ass. I found where she hid it, and I fucking read it, and I ripped it, and I was an asshole. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was really, really young. But she started getting me back into comics. Like, I was always a Mego fan. I loved the old Migos action figures. I was a Batman fan, like action figures, Super Friends, the old 60s Spider-Man that was on TV. And then when I got old enough, she brought me to a comic book store, and I got the first book that really got my attention was the Uncanny X-Men, and I started collecting that book. It was right before the Dark Phoenix saga, and of course the Spider-Mans and all that other stuff. But that's the era that I started, and I really ramped it up in the late 80s, mid to late 80s was when I was really collecting hardcore. That's where I got a bulk of my collection, and then through the 90s, and it kind of died through the mid 90s. Is kind of where I kind of like fizzled out. Like what was going on at the time with X-Force? It was with the Strife thing with X-Force, the big crossover storyline with Strife.
That was
I forgot what the name of the story arc was.
Extinction Agenda.
Around it was I was around for Extinction Agenda. It was after that, was it? It was something.
Onslaught was the next big event.
I wasn't around.
Fatal Attractions.
Right around there is when I kind of tapped out.
No, Fatal Attraction was a Magneto. That was when the time when he pulled the.
Yeah, but
he pulled the adamantium out of Wolverine. Yeah. Executioner's Swords. Trent's in the fucking chat. Shout out to Trent. That's it, man. That's kind of when around the time where I was kind of like bouncing out. That was when I stopped buying and collecting actual paper books. But then later on, going back digitally and reading digitally is a different story. I still kept up with some stuff, caught up. But yeah, that was it. I was mostly a Marvel guy. I dabbled in some DC, but Marvel was for me. Image, of course, when Image came out. A few Dark Horse books, but I wasn't really like a fan of like the indies like that. The books were really expensive, and some of the storylines and characters just didn't do it for me. That was basically my collection is 95% Marvel was back in the day. you know. So that's basically the storylines that I like: Spider-Man, X-Men, and I dabbled in some Thor, Hulk a little bit when the Mr. Fix-It era. You know, I was into that a lot. The Gray Hulk, I loved the Gray Hulk.
The Dale Keown,
The Peter David storylines were fucking great.
That's probably the best run on Hulk ever.
Yeah, and what a dick, man! I met that guy. He's a fucking asshole, man.
Fucking asshole.
Yo, he is a real fucking jerk off, man.
Yeah.
I remember that one spot across from Bilderstein had him, and when the new X Factor came out, they had Peter David and Strowman in there, and he wouldn't sign the front of my book. He signed the inside of the book, so I don't have a signature. I have two copies of that X-Men book. He wouldn't sign the cover. He signed the inside. What a fucking ass! He was just an asshole, man. I don't know, man. I don't. That's what I got as a kid, man. You know, he just maybe he wasn't happy that day, or maybe I don't know. But you know, I didn't have it. I didn't have a good experience about him.
My experience is almost the same as yours. He just seems to be a dick, you know. So
I don't know.
I
met the guy once, and I was a kid. What the fuck? I'm not gonna fucking throw a scarlet letter on him, but you know, all I can say is the guy might be a nice guy. My experience was not cool.
Strowman was to be like a grumpy old man. That's what it seemed like to me when
Strowman was great, man, because he was young, he was new.
Yeah.
He had a very unique style. I really liked his style back in the day. The way he used to draw Guido.
Yeah,
strong guy, man.
Strong guy, man. He fucking really drew. Like that book came out of nowhere, man. It's like we were so into this, and then all of a sudden it was like, boom! Who the fuck is this shit? You know what I mean? You're like, well, I remember him from fucking Lalandra, and I remember, oh wow, there's Wolfsbane, and I'm like,
yeah,
how the hell did they come up with that team? What did they throw darts at a fucking wall?
That's what I thought, because really, it's like you had Havoc, Polaris, Wolfbane, Strong Guy, Jamie Maddox, and then Forge, and it's like
basically
no one, you know.
This is Jim Shooter. Jim Shooter brought the guys into the office, blindfolded them, gave them some darts, and said, "Throw it."
These are the reject like C Team mutants.
Yeah,
because everybody used up for X-Force, everybody's used up for Generation X. X-Men Gold, X-Men Blue. So these are what's left over.
Well, I think that's what's the thing. They were bringing the original team, some of the team members, back into the regular comics, so they had to come up with something different. So, and that's funny. That's a series I need to go back and read again.
The only thing that bugged me about that book was Random. Like they made it out. They made it out like Random was like was going to be this huge mystery about him and shit. And then when the payoff came, it fucking blew.
Dude, that was the 90s, man. Every new character was going to be the biggest, baddest.
Yeah.
It was going to be the new Wolverine. It was going to be the new, oh my God, what's his past like? Oh my God, he's such a badass. And
the only character I think really worked well in the 90s at that time that still has some longevity to, no, actually two, is Blink Blink and Marrow. Those are the only two characters I think from the 90s that they threw out for us that really worked well. Comparing to,
so? I don't think so. I don't think so.
I mean, look, they used Blink in a lot in the X-Men movies and in a series. I'm just saying, you know, that it's a.
I like X-Files.
You know, I think maybe it picked up later on, but like my time, I remember my buddies, we couldn't give a fuck about that. Like, what was the one that had the fucking look like a porcupine with the fucking shit coming out of his face? They put him in X3. They put him in X3.
Yeah, Quill.
I don't even
remember. He was a Morlock.
Yeah, see, that was when I was like, oh man, the Morlocks. I love the Morlocks, man.
Yeah.
Man, we could talk fucking forever. We're gonna go through so many fucking rabbit holes here, man. Oh shit. Amazing. It's fucking great, man. There was just so much fucking, and look at all that shit that came out there, and then that's making it big. And like even like True Starscream just said in the chat, breakout 90s character Deadpool, of course. Yeah. You know, and it's funny, like the Deadpool that we got now is nothing like the Deadpool we got when he first came out.
Exactly. So
I love that.
That's why I can't really consider Deadpool the character that
Liefeld created.
Yeah, you know, it's just a blatant copy. And Jack God for like Ed McGuinness and Joe Casey.
Yeah,
Joe Kelly, you know, who really made the character better than what it is today. and then Liefeld is just like sitting there all smug, like he's taking all the credit for
Yeah.
it. You know?
Yeah, I mean,
That's
honestly,
what,
this is my opinion.
She has a miniseries was better than what Liefeld did.
I'm kind of on the other side of the spectrum, man. I like Liefeld's Deadpool more than what he became.
I mean, I like
breaking the wall and talking to the audience and the zany crate. He had a smart ass mouth when he did the Liefeld stuff, and you know he was a badass. But it seemed like he kicked more ass, and he was more about being his job as an assassin, and you know like.
Well, I mean, I agree. I think that is the better incarnation of Deadpool, and I like that character a lot, but then Liefeld never really did anything more with that character.
No, because he moved on.
Everything else he does, he never really finished doing anything.
Yeah, he left Marvel. He moved on, and of course they're not going to let that character sit on a table like that. So someone picked it up and ran with it. Look, how many other characters back in the day has changed their whole style from artists and time periods. Bringing back Luke Cage. And remember when Deathlock was coming back? Oh my God, Deathlock's coming back! I gotta get this book. The fucking book sucked.
Yeah, it did suck.
Nick, it sucked, man.
The art was.
Let's be honestly, truly, it sucked.
The art was the only thing that had got me going because I was a fan of Deathlock, and the artwork was really good. But everything else about it was just bad, you know.
And this is the premise of this show, like we're talking about deep cover, where we look at the covers in the books, and that's what brings your attention to buy that book. When you're at that rack and you're looking at the fucking wall, you never heard of the character or you're not sure of the book. If the cover art or the cover looks fucking dope, I don't give a fuck. You're buying it. You know how many chances I took on titles just by the cover, and I was just blown away and taken in.
Ghost Rider has some good covers.
Oh, hell yeah.
Of the 90s.
But but also Ghost Rider they had great artists.
Text out of nowhere. Text came out of nowhere. Yeah. Like, wow, this guy's fucking awesome. It's gritty, it's dirty. Look at his lines. There's a lot of line work in there, man.
Like he just kind of scribbled while he draws, you know?
Yeah. You're just like he's like maniac. He's like a maniac.
He didn't erase the
see it all come together.
Lines.
Yeah,
he just left it how it was, and that was it. You know.
Yeah, yo, another '90s book where the art definitely carried it because it was Sienkiewicz was fucking Moon Knight.
The new Moon Knight version too. Yeah, the version. Yeah, man. I was actually going through my long boxes today, and I got a pretty good run from there, from like 1 to like 20 something when I tapped out, man. And Moon Knight, I think Moon Knight is a character that they really need to like really look into, especially like the newer shit when he was all schizophrenic and having multiple personalities.
Yeah, personalities. Yeah, I like that one.
He was like Marvel's Batman, but with 65 people in his head, you know?
Yo, Warren Ellis did a really good run on Moon Knight recently.
It's a very complicated fucking character, man. In the first version, he wasn't like that. It was like the second version where he started getting all fucking wackadoo.
Yeah.
And True Star Screamer brought up 2 good points. He says he remembers getting Shadowhawk. Shadowhawk was a
Shadowhawk with Jimmy
Valentine. Yeah.
And then fucking Stephen Platt on fucking Moon Knight was cool.
Good. Man, there was just so many, man. There's just so much shit, man. All right. Hey, we're this is what we're doing. We're talking about this shit. You guys want to get into the one storyline that we're going to talk about tonight?
Yeah, man.
Sure.
Let's bring the covers into deep cover.
Sweet.
That's what we're all about here. I guess we are. It's brand new. We're trying something out here. So, all right, let me screen share. I got me up here. Woo! Going through the rabbit hole. Where is my reader? Oh, I don't know where it is. So we're going to have to go into that folder again. Open with. This is how you do it, people. Live. You guys see this?
Here we go.
All right. We're going to be doing the infamous Kraven's Last Hunt. I know there's someone in the chat that's very happy right now. Which went through, what was it? Through Web of Spider-Man Spectacular and Amazing.
Yes.
Now, it's been a while since I read this book, so I need to go back. And it's funny that shout out to Nathan Haskell. He just sent me a new track that we're working on, and he references Kraven's Last Hunt. And he's like, hit me up an email. Did you get what I said? Yeah, I get it. I need to go back and read the book.
Shit, it was 75 cents back in the day.
Yeah, this was a good time for comics too, man. Yeah. I mean, look at this cover. This cover is just fucking phenomenal, man. Look at it. You just didn't know.
It's a beautiful cover.
Oh man, look the perspective. This is when he was rocking the black suit, you know, before the symbiote, you know. So, oh, excuse me. Really fucking awesome, man. I don't even know who did this artwork. I'm trying to look on the corner.
I thought it was with Mike Zeck.
Is this Zeck? I can't see it on the. I'm trying to make it out.
Trying to see if I can.
Let's see. Is he the same? Yeah, Zeck. He penciled the book. So, you know, we're more than just a cover here. So if we want to dabble in a little bit, you know, we're not going to go from panel to panel, from page to page. But this was a fucking awesome storyline.
Yeah,
he just very deep.
Oh yeah, he had it in for Spider-Man from fucking. Look at this. I mean, you guys can't see it, but on the top right. Look at that box in the top right, man. Yeah, Zeck is so fucking underrated, man. He did so much shit. A lot of shit that people don't even fucking get, man, or even knew that he was doing. Wow, I mean, I got to go back and read this.
The facial expressions that's what got me when I did the was working on the 3D renders of the new figure. Such a great book.
Now, is that the Pizza Spidey Buck?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It's funny. It's like Kraven was never that big fucking character. You know what I mean?
No, he wasn't.
He just was like, you know, and this was like
the Mantis just changed that character overnight, you know.
Yeah.
He was like a gimmick character, like to say, like part of the rogues gallery of all the Spider villains.
Well, because he was one of the original. He was one of the earlier guys. You know? Yeah, he's like old school S6, man. So, you know, this storyline took place in 1987. Like I said, it went over 3 comic lines: Amazing, Web, and Spectacular. But
I was 10 years old at the time reading this book, and this was like a dark turn for me from reading Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. You know, a totally dark turn.
Well, you were 10.
Yeah.
A little bit older than you. I think I was making hip-hop beats. So that's how far I go back. But
and then a little later on is when they started tying in Kraven with the fucking chameleon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was like late 388, 389.
Ooh. So did Zeck do the whole? Did Zeck do the whole pencil, the whole fucking storyline?
I believe he did,
because this is amazing, and he's doing the inner inner work also.
I believe he did.
Guys, come on!
Yeah,
that's beautiful. You know what? I haven't read that storyline in a long time.
Yeah, me too. And I'm gonna read this tomorrow. Vermin.
Yeah, dude.
What a fucking shit character.
That when he beat the shit out of Vermin.
Dude, what a shit character, Vermin. Oh my god. Dude. This was Vermin's claim to fame right here, man. This was his hey, I made it to the big leagues, you know?
And then who was it? Was it the dude that had his blood mixed in with the Squadron Supreme ink? You know what I'm talking about, Darius? Grunwald. Mark Grunwald, in his cap, he did a really good Vermin story too.
Yeah, he did.
And you know, and look, this is what tells you, like, Zeck, not everything Zeck does is good, and a lot has to do with your inker, man. You know, this guy is just. I mean, this doesn't look good to me. Some of these inks just destroy the fucking. You know what I mean? Like this page right here is just garbage to me. This just looks like garbage. I'm just trying to be it. You know what I mean? But honestly, this to me as a comic book reader when I was a kid turned me off like a bet. You get good pages like this, and then you got this nonsense, you know? Yeah. Like they were just running through real quick. But Zeck, man, remember when Zeck did the limited series Punisher run? Man, that was fucking. I gotta get that series still. I don't know where my original copy went, but. So yeah, I mean, yeah, we're doing a little bit more than coverage here, but fuck it, it's too good, you know. Sent. This is in Peter Parker, Spectacular Spider-Man.
I mean, look at that cover. That's beautiful.
Yeah. That's a good cover too, man.
Dark.
Well, you know, and it's just like it was like early fucking crossover shit, man. You know, look at this, like part 3. I gotta get that book. Never bought Peter Parker before, but guess what? Now I am. You know, and you go back and you wanna. Zek, yeah, Zek continued on, man.
Yeah, I think he did the whole arc.
Yeah, he probably did the whole arc, and they said, you know what? Instead, it was probably like an amazing arc, and they said just let's spread it out through the books because the other books weren't selling.
Yeah, when I was looking on Wiki, it was supposed to. It started in web, right? It was supposed to be in web completely, and then they put it through the other 2 titles.
Oh, that's cool. So, because probably the sales. Oh, come on, guys, the sales were probably like low.
That is the best.
I mean, I could just leave this here and just look at this for like an hour, man. This is fucking incredible. Wow. The perspective, just everything about this cover. If you're not buying this book, if it's on the rack in 1987, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you.
I still got it. Haven't opened it. Still got it. Bagged and board.
That was a great name for a podcast that I wanted to use, but it was used already. Bagged and boarded. My life story. I'm bagged and boarded.
Look at that shit. That page you just had up, the last
Which one? Which one?
The first page. Yeah, right there. Look at that shit.
Yeah, look in the background.
Yeah.
You can see shit in the background.
Look at that. Yeah, just the composition of the page, man.
Yeah. Look at the storytelling.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you got a lot of fucking a lot of words on it, but look how it's like cinematic, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Look at fucking Craven. Craven just looks like a fucking badass Zek with that smile that he has on his face. Oh man. Vermin. More bullshit. Where's the good shit? Oh fuck! You know,
look at
he's
that.
running around fucking dressed up as him, man. That's fucking great. Look at that smile. Oh man, I can't see the chat. So if anybody watch the chat, if anybody has anything, but there's part 5. It was Amazing Spider-Man 294.
Yeah, second Leighton.
Yeah, I'm not a fucking big fan of fucking Vermin, man. I gotta tell you guys, I'm not the biggest Vermin fan. Who wrote the storyline? Hold on. I don't even know this.
J.M. Mathis.
Yeah, he was a writer for Amazing for quite a while there too.
What's up, Frogman? Sneaking in here.
Hey, Froggy. What's going on?
Frogman's not allowed to be here. He's out to dinner.
Dinner just ended, sir. I didn't want to make too much noise because I know you were busy.
That scene right there. When I first read it, that was my first introduction about what suicide was. Imagine at that age, just reading that, like and it wasn't like it was like a shocking ending, and that was it, you know?
Yeah, they said my mother was insane. Boom.
That's it. I was like,
how powerful is this?
It was very powerful.
It was very powerful. It was a game changer.
Yep.
Until they brought him back for no reason.
Well, the whole Calypso storyline was, it was interesting, and but still, because it's like, you know,
well, they weren't gonna keep Craven dead.
You can't keep him dead, but
nah.
But what is interesting though, at this time, you know, Spider-Man encountered villains before who had died, right? But it was one of these kind of situations that, you know, did they really died or we don't even know because body was never found, all this other shit like that, right?
This one was
like the fuck end, you know, he was dead.
After all these years, you surely know that I'm a man of my word, and I give you my word. From the night forward, Craven the Hunter will never hunt again. Spider-Man looks, I'll be back. I don't doubt it. Every man, every woman, every nation, every age has its spider. I can't see at the bottom because it says fucking stop screen sharing there. So And then just the next page is just like he just watches him go away. Unbelievable. That's it. He couldn't get his prize. That's it. He's done.
Yeah, Spider-Man broke him.
Yep.
It drove him to insanity.
But I feel as if I can know it now that it nearby, just outside, perhaps hidden in the patter of the rain, the drumbeat of the thunder, peace, calm, happiness, and ending now. They said my mother was insane. Holy shit, man.
Yeah, man.
Right,
You guys aren't getting anything from that, man. I don't know.
Casket.
I don't fucking know, man. Wow. Holy shit. Oh, man. Let me stop sharing right now. Bring us back to reality. Wow.
That was deep. That was a very deep storyline. Very deep.
I don't think there was much suicide in comics before that.
No, there
That's
wasn't.
what Gabe was saying.
No, there wasn't, and that was the first. And it was that was it. The end, you know. And I think it was a really shocking moment in comic books history for me.
You know what would really make that book better if Vermin wasn't in it.
Leave Vermin alone.
You better not be a fucking Vermin fucking.
You know what
Marvel Legends coming, man. There better not be one because
Sony.
Vermin Marvel Legends figure next.
Nobody's. That's gonna be a peg warmer right there, man. I'm telling you right now, he's gonna be next to Jack-O-Lantern, and I like Jack-O-Lantern. I always liked Jack-O-Lantern. He was one of my favorite characters as a kid. He's gonna be right next to him. Wow, we blew through that arc pretty quick.
Yeah.
That was a good arc, though. That was a very good arc.
I mean, honestly, guys, there's like, what can you say? It's like you can't talk about it because it's right there on the page. The emotion and everything that was so powerful about that fucking arc is right there. It's fucking right there, man. It blew my mind as if I wasn't a kid. I was a teenager, but like I was like, holy shit. I was like, Craven's the Kurt Cobain of this motherfucking comic book shit. You know? And like I was never a big Craven fan. So like when I was younger, I really didn't pay that storyline too much mind because he wasn't my most favorite villain. And sometimes I would stop collecting a certain line if I didn't like the way the arc was going, or if there was something that because money was tight back then. That was $1 something I could be spending on a different book, And if I see like a villain in a book that I didn't like, I would pass on that, and this wasn't something that I passed on, but it wasn't something that I read all the time. It wasn't until I got a little bit older and understood exactly what they were fucking going with, It was definitely more of an adult fucking storyline.
Yeah.
Definitely more of that, man. Vermin. Oh, the Jackal. He's even worse. The Vermin, Jackal, what else is there?
Puma.
What was that? Was that the one
Dude,
with
I love Puma.
The kangaroo. The kangaroo.
Grizzly. Now you want to talk about a shit?
Yeah.
Was that what's the one? Carcoon or Kraken or Krakoon or whatever the fuck his name was? Carrion, whatever the fuck his name was. Carrion. Oh god.
The second Carrion was good though.
I think Carrion was like a big Peter Parker villain. I think you saw him a lot.
Yeah.
Like these guys were like B grades that you saw on like Peter Parker and shit like that in the non-amazing books.
But the Jackal that came back in the late, closing in on 400 with the jacket, he was pretty cool.
Yeah, they try to revamp. I mean, there's a lot of old school characters that they could give a little bit more style to and bring back. But you guys want to look through anything else here, man? This is what we're doing here, so
Yeah, man,
just party on some more shit, man. But
whatever you're feeling.
Nah, man, it's up to you guys, man. I'm just driving the fucking boat tonight, man. Like I said, we're testing the waters here with this shit, man. Just the conversations that we're having about the old school shit is just getting me really, really engaged with all the old shit. It's like makes me want to just rip open some of the old fucking.
Do you have? Since you said you've been reading a lot of X-Men lately, do you have Inferno in hand?
Well, doesn't that go through multiple titles?
Yeah,
it went through.
It went through like X Factor, X-Men.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, that's something that I would have to set up prior too, because we would need to like throw them in its own folder and go from there. If there's any of you guys want to look at that's from the same line that goes in a consecutive order, we could rock that. So,
what about Daredevil? Since Daredevil season 3 premiere,
Born Again.
I've been watching it, man. I've been watching it all day. I'm up to episode 8. 8.
What?
You know, I still love season 2. That's my favorite season.
Did you finish
as of-
season 3?
Yes, I did, but
All right, no spoilers here.
no spoilers, but it's beautifully done. I have to give my hats off to that guy because to me, it looked like a lot of Frank Miller stuff came to life during this season.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm not.
So-
It was slow to like 6. 6, and after 6 it picked up a little bit, but it wasn't slow like you didn't want to watch it. Like it wasn't
Right.
it wasn't like an Iron Fist slow or like a Luke Cage slow. It was
right?
you know, and
It's
this was
like it's a very chaotic build up to the climax point. You know,
and like I was
You know,
never a big
it's
Daredevil
well done.
fan as a kid. I didn't read
Oh,
many
I
Daredevil
love-
books, only
I
here
love
and there.
I love that.
He wasn't like my
Daredevil
go-to
was a good
character.
read.
I think Iron Man was more of a go-to character before Daredevil.
Mm.
It just wasn't on my radar at the time. But you know, I dabbled in some books. Like a buddy would say, "Get that issue" or "Get that issue," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's cool." I wasn't on board the whole early Frank Miller shit. You know, I wasn't there. I wasn't part of that. I was there, but it just didn't do anything for me. You know what I mean? I wasn't on the Frank Miller train like some people were because I was more mutant side, mutant, my amazing. It was on
But
that.
even
end, you know?
even his Wolverine work was great. You know,
Mm.
you know,
I
but
got-
Frank Miller.
Yeah.
I
But-
got one for you if you want to stay with Spider-Man. Do you have the McFarlane Spider-Man run?
No, not. I got it on I gotta get it on my other portable. I gotta bring it on
Alright.
my other portable. Sorry, guys. Strike out again. But if you guys want to get into the Daredevil books, we could do that since the series, man. I've been watching. I've been on the couch all fucking afternoon watching it, and day 1 of vacation has been a really good one. With geek action, neighbors are moving, some beers, some ribs, chilling out, relaxing. Really good fucking first day. So. I would definitely say start watching this Daredevil series. You won't be let down. It's like I said, slow a little bit, but I'm hoping that I can see where they're trying to go with it, and I really hope it goes that far. Fucking Kingpin, man. I am all about this dude playing.
Yeah,
He
Yeah.
is fucking nailing it.
Gabe made a suggestion: Future Imperfect. If you got that,
Damn, that's a good storyline.
From what series?
Hulk.
Incredible Hulk.
It was a 2-issue mini.
Yeah. What was the episodes or the episodes? The books.
Future Imperfect 1 and 2.
Oh no, it's not part of the Incredible Hulk line.
No.
No. I got the whole Incredible Hulk line. I don't have any of it. Wait a minute. It may be in. Yeah, let me see. Talk amongst yourselves, and we will find out. Talk amongst yourselves.
But yeah, the reason why I had asked about the Todd McFarlane Spider-Man was because the Perception story, the second big arc he did.
That's what Wolverine.
with
Yeah,
Wolverine and
Wendigo.
Wendigo.
yeah.
Yeah.
Parker traveled to Canada. Yeah,
Even Torment was good, man.
Torment was. I enjoyed Torment. You know, that
Yeah.
was when the zombie Craven
Yep.
and what was that part? 2-part with
I'm sorry. Only thing I got in here is just Incredible. The whole Incredible one.
That was with Ghost Rider. Yeah, that was the Ghost Rider one. Ghost Rider and the Hobgoblin one. That was a 2-part one.
Demogoblin. Talk about a 90s villain.
Yeah, I wasn't a
Yes.
fan of Demigoblin. I wasn't a fucking fan. So what's up? You want to look into these Daredevil books from that they're
Yeah,
kind of like
dude.
based on like the
Yeah.
season 3 storyline here?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Somebody want to play Google and find out what the issues were so I can.
Well, we got Walter over there. He's leaving. Never mind.
Yeah, I gotta get up, but I can give you.
Just don't
Oh.
snap your fingers.
What do you want to do? Born Again or
Go with Born Again. Born Again is a very good storyline.
All right, Walter's calling the shots
As He's Leaving? Look at that.
as he's leaving.
Let you guys do it. I read Born Again, so
What issue numbers were those? Because
I was like, it was after 200, so it have to be.
It's 227 through 231.
where the fuck is my Daredevil fucking folder?
You know,
Motherfucker, it's not on here. You gotta be fucking kidding me.
you know what else?
Where do you have available? Then,
First,
What's that?
What do you have available? So then we can pick from.
I got a lot available. It just seems like everything that I fucking want is not here, and I'm not firing up this other hard drive because I got to dig it out. It's still packed off from moving.
Oh shit! Okay,
Man, what the fuck?
Okay, his first appearance was 131. Okay.
I gotta have this fucking folder on here, man. Let me see. You guys there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh.
Frog and Walter.
God, the only thing that's coming up on my fucking search is Daredevil vs. Punisher Means to the End 05. Must be in my Punisher folder. Yeah, it's got to be on. I'm sorry, guys. It's on another fucking hard drive. We're not prepared for this. Yeah, so much for that. We hyped up the old fucking Daredevil, and it's not even there.
Well, next time we'll just get a list ready for stuff. So
yeah. Like I said, if this is something that people want to or interested in and want to do this further, we could definitely get things together and work on some of that. But yeah, I'm going through here right now, man. I got Spawn, the X-Men, Spider-Man, Avengers, Captain America, Civil War, Fantastic Four, G.I. Joe, Guardians, Hulk, Iron Man, Marvel Comics Presents, Moon Knight, New Mutants, New Warriors, Peter Parker, Secret Wars 1 and 2, Spectacular, Max, Thor's, some Transformer shit, Web of Spider-Man, Wolverine, X Factors. Let's see, there's more.
Hey, pull up some of the New Warriors. Let's start with New Warriors 1 and just disclose.
You know, it's funny that didn't you want to do the New Warriors? All right, because it's not a big book that I was really
one of my favorites growing up, and
I wasn't really a big New Warriors fan. I read it because of people said it was going to be new and it was going to be one of the biggest books that were coming out. So
and it did pretty well. It lasted for a longer time than many people anticipated. You know,
sparked some.
And Mark Bagley worked on that book, and
well, Bagley he got fucking hot out of nowhere, man. He just with that Spider-Man run, he just went fucking apeshit.
And that's my homage with my Night Thrasher figure.
There we go.
Very, very odd team.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, it was a very odd team at the time. This was Jesus, what was this? 90. This is when the books turned to buck.
I was in junior high at the time. I think I was 7th grade when that book came out.
Firestar making it.
Yeah.
It's like, look at that, Heroes for the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look in the background, it's all like
the classic covers.
Yeah.
Classic Marvel covers.
Yeah. I was never a fan of this fucking book, man. I wasn't.
You know, it was for me. I love the artwork. The characters was different, and plus, you know,
was this before Bagley went to His Amazing?
Yeah. And plus, there's like Night Thrasher, where that suit was cool. You know, to me, he was like the kind of like another version, like a black version of Batman in a sense, you know. And he was a leader of his own team, you know. So I thought it was cool. You know?
Now, were they trying to like make this like a junior Avengers team, kind of
something like that?
Did they work for the government, or were they on their own?
They were on their own.
Like it was like Night Thrasher was a millionaire and fucking financed everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is awesome because, you know, I collected the book, but I never fucking read it. I think I went like 20 issues deep.
Mad thinker.
Yeah. And then plus, you know, Speedball was the main reason why the first Civil War happened in the Marvel universe. You know?
Yeah.
So these are not just characters for a runoff, you know.
But you know, how many years did it take until they made that series? So, you know, these are just. You know, that's them coming up with a new storyline saying, well, who could we use? Well, you know, we got these heroes from the 90s.
And then Marvel Boy is basically Vance Astro in the future, right? In the Guardians of the Galaxy. So he ends up being an important character later on in the line. So and then as well with the New Warriors.
Well, wasn't Nova part of this team at one time?
That's him right there.
Right there
yeah, this was the first time people had picked him up since like what, the 70s?
Yeah. After he did when he was part of the Guardians and he vanished and they brought this version of him, and then they revamped him back in the Marvel Ultimates universe.
Yeah.
So then as well with the New Warriors also gave birth to the Thunderbolts because you know, so Yeah, people sleep on the New Warriors, but it was a very important comic
When
book
you get to
in
the
history.
cover, I'll show you where this book started to go crazy and was really.
I remember that issue.
Punisher was in every book in the 90s.
Yeah,
Dude, I gotta tell you right now, that art is fucking whack. This is not Bagley's best. This might be
This was a rush job.
no, it could be where Bagley got bit by the inker bug. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially when you see the interiors, especially.
Yeah, well,
that's a better cover.
Yeah, and the Hellions were in that shit.
Mm-hmm.
oh, so okay, so they tried to make it like they were a teen group.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
So this is where he was turned into Nova.
Yeah, instead
Yes.
of being Kid Nova, yeah.
Mhm.
And they gave it back to like his more original costume. That's where it started right there, man. Where they went up against the
Forever
Juggernaut.
Yesterday.
Forever
yeah.
Yesterday. I don't know anything about this.
Was this the crossover with X-Force?
Yes, or I know Avengers, X-Force, and New Warriors, maybe.
You know what?
Yeah.
This is me being biased and being an X-Men fan, but it always seemed like a book starting out, cross it over some mutants.
Yep.
Book's not doing good, throw some mutants in there, man.
Yeah, in the 90s, it was Wolverine, Punisher, and Ghost Rider.
Oh, Cable.
Cable, too, yeah.
Yep. And what did I do?
Then where's the other arc?
Out of the Dark Hawk.
Yep, Darkhawk.
You know, this fucking guy gets a lot of shit in the fucking comic book community.
I love Darkhawk. And
I
that's
do too,
what
man.
why we get that figure, Marvel Legends figure.
I'm really surprised at that, man. I bought it too, man. I bought that figure like a fucking.
I love that book. The art was great.
Yeah, it was a good
you know,
book.
and
It was different.
Yeah, that was like to me
know why I
was
get
like
shit
a
Much, man. I don't know why people.
this time period to me was like a new Marvel Renaissance. You
Mhm.
know,
You're absolutely
and,
right.
and a lot of these characters are getting more appreciated today now because after it hit 20 years, you know,
This right
This
here
was
was
good, yeah.
very good.
Why? This is when they started getting Galactic going in the cosmic shit.
Not really, but it was
Not really,
like
it was
they
just
were
when-
complete. They were
Like,
completely.
where did fucking
overpowered.
Tarex come out of nowhere, man?
Mm.
Oh, great cover, man.
Yeah.
Look at this cover. Is that Tex? Oh, it's Bagley. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, who's the
See,
inker? The
different
inker
man.
definitely
Yeah.
fucking killed this, man.
And Gabe Gabe was talking about Namor in a business suit. That's what they what they did with Namor in the 90s. They turned like Namor into like a good guy Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is a
there's
fucking
also-
this is a fucking cover. Take away the fucking bubbles, and this is fucking killer right here, man. Now, I'm not saying the bubble in his mouth, the bubble gum bubble.
Yeah, the lettering bubbles.
Letter bubbles. This is that's a fucking $1 million cover right here, man. That's fucking awesome. That would make I would buy this book just right for the cover.
There we go.
Now, who made that character, Night Thrasher?
I think it was Nicias or however you pronounce his name.
Yeah, Fabian Nacia.
Okay, all right.
And yeah, here we go. Gideon from X-Force.
from X-Force.
Yeah.
So wasted, man. Fucking that was the last
Another
one.
good character. Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah. Now this was another really good story because Marvel Boy ends up going to jail for manslaughter for killing his dad.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
No, I'm just saying that the name Marvel Boy. Wow.
Yes.
Well, yeah, at the time, but then they changed it to Vance Astro.
Well, yeah, and he was always Vance Astro.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He just wasn't Justice.
Yeah.
They're not the heroes. Well, who's this?
Oh God.
This was a one-shot team when
yeah.
I think they had a split. You know, Night Thrasher left the New Warriors with the Marvel Boy.
The Folding Circle.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been so long.
I keep hitting the wrong button. Oh, my bad. Sorry, guys.
I guess Gabe says Tom DeFalco created Night Thrasher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and see,
Either
this is
one of them. Too.
then there's
Now, we
Reed.
know so much about this era, guys. Great.
Yeah.
Gabe will be our reference point from now on.
Okay.
Gabe, get in here.
And that last issue, that was Rage.
First appearance of Rage.
I mean, I don't know.
Rage
this team,
ended
I
up
remember
as
this
an
cover.
Avenger too.
This team never did much for me, man. Never did much for me.
See, Rage ended up as an Avenger, and they had to kick him out because they found out that he was underage. He was like a 13, 14-year-old kid.
Is Marvel Boy really going to prison? Not if the Warriors have anything to say about it. You know, I don't know why there isn't a play on this where there's a villain holding beer bottles and clicking them together on the cover. They really missed something there with that.
There you go, Infinity War, when they had all the doppelgangers.
Yeah.
Turbo. She ended up being cooler towards the end of the series.
This is where you see like Bagley is hot. I'm telling you, inkers, man, and this is the same inker he's been using.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck is going on?
Because
like,
Bagley had to evolve his artwork to try to compensate what the inkers keep fucking up. That's what I thought. You know, so
I don't know, man.
Maybe he had to change his style a little bit, make it easier for the inker to do something.
Nice. Look at this.
Man.
That's a great cover right there. Too much words on it, but wow, it's great. Nice perspective from the grave. Another one that's pretty dope. How they took the titles and put it in there.
Yeah. Oh, that's when Namorita went crazy. Like she started to break down because she was a clone.
Namorita? like a margarita?
She was a clone.
Namor's cousin.
Or is it Namorita?
Namorita.
Yeah, she was a clone. She ended up being a clone of Namor's cousin.
You guys were fucking deep into this book, huh? Hey, Walter, what do you think?
Walter's gone.
I know. No shit. I don't hear any background chatter. And this isn't Bagley.
No.
What was that? Was this a Brassfield? Where's the fucking?
Maybe the next page.
Is he doing interiors? Brassfield. I guess.
Yeah.
Oh boy, you know when it's against Penciler, you know what's happening there.
Shift.
That's when he probably started
Spider-Man. Yeah.
That's when he started doing fucking amazing. Yep.
Yeah, Brassfield again.
Yes, this is.
That was it. That was the beginning of the end.
Guess Penciler. That's the beginning of the end. He was booted over to amazing.
Well, this shit went on for 40 more issues after this.
Yeah.
It ended with 75.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
This was the time when I started like shifting a little bit away.
Yeah, things were getting different here, man.
Things were getting way different.
Yeah, look at the whole
by 41. Yeah, 41 is when I clocked out.
So this is like
Fire Lord, baby.
A little bit more cosmic, a little bit more cosmic.
Yeah. Look at that Justice costume. Holy shit.
That's fucking terrible. You think that looks good?
No.
That's fucking terrible.
90s,
garbage.
man.
The fuck is it? It looks like a typo negative cover.
Where?
This is a typo negative album, man.
Christian women.
Man, this is when shit was this. Thank God I was out. I think this is when I was getting out, man.
Yeah, they always cross over with X-Force.
And everything at the time, man. This is when Marvel was changing up their covers and stuff, man.
Yeah, and then that last one was when Namorita turned blue.
She needed the money.
There's Dagger.
You were still reading this back then?
No.
I just like a couple years ago they came out with it in like trade paperbacks, and I went through all the rest of it.
Okay, so you just recently.
Yeah.
You guys still want to keep going?
No,
might as well. We're almost done.
How much? Look at this. This is god awful, man. Look at this art. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh my god. What is it? Airbrushed?
What is going on?
Is that Kane? I can't even tell.
I don't know.
Oh man, this is
no.
And like we were talking about, like how technology came in and changed. You could definitely tell some of that.
Yeah,
was
that's
definitely
right.
not
Scarlet Spider joined.
It's not pay. Oh man, don't even get me on the clone shit, man.
And then that's when they changed Firestar's costume too. Oh.
Like a Rogue Jubilee mixture.
Something, I don't know.
It's like Rogue and Jubilee. Yeah, guys, I gotta tap out because I can't. I'm bouncing cat.
Yeah, but the art got good for the last arc.
Okay, where?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
It went to 75 issues, the first series, and
I guess this is the second wave. Yeah, we're not gonna go. But
the last storyline.
We're not gonna get it today.
Yeah, the last storyline brought the Sphinx back, and it
Mhm.
was dope. Like it from like probably about like 30 to like 59, it got shit. And then they started ramping things back up again, and it ended at a point. It was one of those books in the 90s that like, it went through its hard times, but then like it fucking ramped back up right before it got canceled.
I needed to take a fucking drink after fucking seeing that shit, man. I'm sorry, I'm still not a fan. I mean, I have it on my hard drive. You know, one day maybe I'll fucking read it, but I'm not. From what I saw, I'm not running to read it.
The Juggernaut story and the Terrax story is what you need to read, and that's about it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I'd rather go back and read a nice, John Byrne fucking X-Men run or some shit. Just saying.
No, dude, that was like I had to go back and read it, but John Byrne's Fantastic Four was my introduction to Fantastic Four.
Yeah. I dabbled in Fantastic Four. I wasn't the biggest Fantastic Four fan, but I did buy certain issues, certain arcs, certain storylines. Maybe say, yeah, I'm gonna go there. Do you guys remember when the Fantastic Four were missing? And the new Fantastic Four was Wolverine, the Great
Hulk, Spider-Man,
and with Ghost Rider, man. I got those books.
Arthur Adams was the artwork at the time.
Dude, Arthur Adams. I know my top 5 artists are probably like 20. But he's in my top 5. I always say top 5, man. Arthur Adams to me, he is the epitome of a mutant artist.
Yeah.
Like everything that he did with the mutants, man.
Yeah.
The Heroes for Hope cover, and remember the X Babies, and everything that he fucking did.
Mojo World.
The long shot, oh my god, the long shot, fucking. Oh wow, really? I follow him on Instagram, man. And
me too. The art that he does, his work is like impeccable.
Still good. Oh, he's still fucking one of my favorite fucking artists, man. Like real quick, like some of you guys' favorite artists, man. Let's. I know we're going off a beaten path here, but we are talking comic books.
Yeah, man.
You don't have to get like 25 of them, but certain guys that just are like, wow. I mean, of course, you got your McFarlanes and all that other shit, but is there anybody that's like off the wall that like not on the radar that you may say that's pretty dope?
See, he's after your time, but my favorite is Quitely.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
My favorite artist of all time is Quitely.
And what did he? What books was he on?
Batman. He did Grant Morrison's Batman.
Robin.
Yeah, fucking All-Star Superman. What else? Yeah, fucking.
So he was a DC guy.
Yeah, Flex Mentallo. Yeah. Yep, like Gabe said, new X-Men with Grant Morrison. He was one of the artists on there. So for me, my top 5 would probably be Quitely, Steve Dillon, Tim Broadstreet, Frank Miller, and for a new guy, LaRocca.
Yeah, I'm not giving a top 5 because it's too hard. It's too hard for me to get a top. Like I said, my top 5 has 20 artists in it.
Well, if I thought about it, it'd be different too because I love Bacalo too.
Yeah, you gotta. It just I would have to break it up into eras, and then it's just way too hard to fucking like name. I mean, you could name like we all name the hot shots, but like certain artists that like stand out to you every once in a while, like Larson, like always stood out to me. When he took over the McFarlane run. And yeah, the early Larson stuff, they wanted him to be like McFarlane. they forced him to draw a little bit like McFarlane and have some McFarlaneisms. But when he came into his own on that Amazing run, I fucking loved him. And then same thing when Bagley took over. They were like, we wanted to do a little bit like, if you look at the early Bagley runs, he was like a little bit like Larson. Like there's a little Larson influence in there, and then he turned it into his own. So it's really smart how some of these artists that take over these runs, you know, because it's not like right out of the blue. Out of the blue! You decided out of the blue.
Somebody
Change the artist, you know, like it just goes from like one spectrum to another. You're like, because it turns readers off, especially when you got a hard artist like McFarlane on the book. Everybody's buying the book because it's McFarlane. They love the art. Now McFarlane's gone, and so they have McFarlane cover, but the interior is done by a new artist, and you're like, fuck this guy. Yeah, what the fuck's going on here? And you don't want to buy the book anymore. But if they say, okay, adopt some of his styles and slowly work your own shit into it, and you can see that a lot on certain books with certain artists. I noticed like when I was reading like as a kid, you know. So you know, Art Larson, man, he just, you know, being a graffiti guy, like some of the stuff is like very graffiti, you know, like very, you know, it's not abstract, but it's a little exaggerated in some senses, but it stays in the realm continuum of being, you know, I'm talking off the fucking books here, but you get what I'm talking about, you know. But
like one of my favorite artists at the time, like in the late 80s and into the 90s, was Tom Grummett. And from his Teen Titans run, and then he did Robin and
was that the limited series, the one that came in the poly bags?
No, that was another artist. That was
See, I wasn't a DC guy, so I do have some. I did buy the Robin books because
but no, still in poly bags. No, he started when he got his ongoing series. That's when Tom Grummett started doing that.
Gotcha.
And then he did a fantastic one-shot miniseries. It was called World's Finest 3 with Superboy, Greaser Superboy, and Tim Drake Robin, which they had to fight Metallo.
I don't know if you got the memo, but this is a Marvel podcast.
Okay, gotcha.
No, so I'm only kidding. It's because that's all I know. I'm just fucking with you.
No, but Marvel, I could tell you my favorite artist was Ron Lim was one.
Oh yeah, his Surfer run is one of my favorite runs of all time.
Yeah. He paid attention to detail. That dude,
he did. Yes,
his cap too.
Yeah. Ron Garvey,
guys, there's too many.
Captain America, you know.
Think out the box. Think out the
box. You know.
Angel Medina.
Guys, I need to take
Humberto Ramos. I gotta give it him.
I'll be right back. I gotta go because I had like 9 beers.
So Humberto Ramos, I could think of out of the box.
Carlos Pacheco.
Pacheco, well, yeah, when he was doing Generation X
and Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I like he was more refined by the time he did Fantastic Four. I'm sorry. What?
Yeah, okay. Adam Cooper, Jay Lee. These are coming.
Jay Lee was good when he did when he was doing Inhumans, yeah, the miniseries, and then like Will's Portico again when he was doing X Factor, and then he did X-Men, and shoot, it's like so many. It's just
Travis Charest, yeah.
Oh my goodness, I didn't even think about him.
But I mean, there's so many that you go deep.
Yeah. I like this style a lot because I was trying to do when I was in college at the time. I was doing a lot of animated style too. So especially his lines were smooth. His inks was deep. And then
Capullo, of
course, him. What can I think of his name? He did. Quesada, that's another one, you know, because I like I followed Quesada first in DC when he was doing like the Batman and the Sword of Azrael, yeah, and then he jumped ship to do Daredevil, and that's
and he had that creator-owned book with Palmiotti Ash.
You guys weren't talking DC when I was gone, were you?
No,
I know you were. I know you bastards.
But one of your favorite artists just died, Norm Brayfogle.
Yeah, I know. That broke my heart when he died. He was such a great artist. Such a great artist.
You know, and I spoke about this on my Instagram. I posted some pics a couple weeks ago. Sometimes I'll go through some comic love and post it like one artist that I used to hate, fucking loathe, but as I got older and now I love his style is J.R. John Romita Jr. Man, I hated his bulky. And believe me, he didn't start out that way. His earlier books wasn't like that, but his like
I know because I was like
when he was doing War Journal and Cable and shit.
What the fuck happened? Like he's like to me, I thought he had a stroke and his whole art style changed.
Totally, like with the big blocky fucking heads and shit like that.
Yeah,
I hated it when I was younger, but now
Yeah,
I go back and I fucking look at these books and I'm like, man, this shit is fucking hot. And this is my opinion. And a lot of people may not agree with me, but it's like listening, like the first time I listened to Paul's Boutique from the Beastie Boys, I fucking hated it. You know, 5 years later, I loved it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's in my opinion, he was just so far ahead of his time that I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. I can't speak for everybody else, but I know for a fact that I was not ready and I totally slept on it. But he is definitely a sleeper artist. And now that I look through some of his shit now, I appreciate him even more. Like some of his old stuff. Like, man, I can't believe I slept on this shit.
Yeah.
I think he came into his own on that Thor run. When he did Thor.
He did Thor?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Around what time? I want to see if I
when Thor came back after the whole Onslaught thing, I think, wasn't it?
I don't know. I don't know how much Thor I have.
Right
I was never a big.
It was later than that.
Okay.
Fuck.
If it's some of the newer stuff, I may not have it. I have 337 to 382, and I got version 2, which is like the 500s. It continues after, so I don't know. Let's look to the chat. Gabe, you in there? Thor Volume 2.
Yeah.
All right, give me a number there, brother.
Heroes Reborn, Thor Volume 2. It'd be Thor Volume 2, number 1.
Was it number 1? Let's see. No. Oh, yes, it is. Holy shit. He's right. All right, so let's get a little screen share going in. We're not done yet, guys. We thought we were going to bed. We ain't going to bed yet. Thanks, Gabe, for hooking us up with that.
You know
man.
what, John Ramon?
Gabe is our fucking comic book guy. He needs to get in here.
Like JR stuff. It's like I remember, like in '93, and I bought the Frank Miller arc of The Man Without Fear. You know, I really love the story. Wow, look at that, Heroes Return. Yeah.
Can you see it now? Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw this, but I saw the cover and I was like, I didn't look at the bottom.
That was in '98 too. Wow.
Yeah, this is older, man. This is '98.
Because
the coloring style is very vibrant in this book.
Was that him? I mean, was he originally supposed to do this, or was there another image artist who dropped out and then he took over?
You're talking to the wrong guy. You need to be talking to Gabe in the chat.
Gabe, what's your Facebook?
Like, this is fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, wow.
The link is in the ROC group.
It's in the ROC group.
Why can't I remember this?
Man, look at this. And this is when this is after he was so bulky. This is when he was starting to refine his lines. You know, he was getting a little more rounded here.
And then I gotta give him credit when he jumped shift and he went to do DC for Superman. That art was phenomenal too.
Really, he went to Superman. Look at this.
Yeah.
Broken. Look at this. Yo, I didn't even know I had this fucking book, and I don't even know I had this.
Wow.
Yeah, and this is like earlier when I talked about how
Sure, look at that.
how he had the bulkier style. This is definitely not what I was talking about, because it seems like he's definitely rounding off some edges and not making something so so abstract as it.
Oh, this is definitely his smoothest of his work.
Yeah, like if I could go into Punisher War Journal and you're just like, holy shit, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, you know, you could definitely tell it's the inking and the coloring to me. Like, this does not look like an era book that I would like. This, look at that 5-head this guy's got. He's got a 5-head. Yeah, you know, like there's just something about this. It's not the artwork. I think it's more of the coloring that I lose interest. I don't know why. It just doesn't
And
look.
I like his stuff he did for Black Panther as well. I can't forget that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of my sleeper artists
Yeah.
that I didn't appreciate until later on. Honestly, that's a pretty dope cover.
Mm-hmm.
Another one, but you know, I grew up with the
Wow.
with the Simonson covers, man. So you know,
Yep.
so it didn't like I was gonna say the Simpsons covers.
Well,
I
look at
butchered
that
it,
cover.
you know, if anything that we're gonna find out on this show, like if we talk about artists and writers and stuff, I butchered the shit out of names, you know.
And he
I
changed
do
his,
too.
changed his style up again, man, because he just did All-Star Batman with Snyder.
Yes.
Well, he was off of this, so I'm going to escape this, and I'm going to keep you guys in screen share and see my messy ass fucking desktop because if anybody knows anything about me, whenever I'm working on a new album, my desktop is fucking messy as fuck, and I'm working on a new album. So shout out to the new Cold Slither album. Let's see, and you guys can see a bunch of shit. Let's go into the Punisher.
Ooh, yeah. Do Blood Circle. Do you have Blood Circle?
Let's see.
Circle of Blood. It's the miniseries with Mike Zeck. Since you guys are doing Mike Zeck art.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome aboard here.
What up, man? Thanks for the invite.
Nah, dude, man, all the time, man. You know, I don't need an invite for you, man. You just pop in.
I didn't have a link, so
Let's see. It's in.
It's in the Facebook, bro.
was it? All right. Well,
Yeah.
Like I said, this is something that we're just trying to work with, and we'll work out any possible kinks and issues in what we're doing here in this show. But it's something that I think it's fun for us old school guys, you know.
yeah, it's definitely one of those things to get a nice list going, so you can put together like
Yeah. Like if we think prior
Crossovers.
to it, like tonight, I was just like, I don't know what the fuck we're gonna talk about. I want to see what the guys want to do. What did you say it was?
I think it's that Punisher Volume 1 miniseries. I think
Oh,
it's that one right.
the Mike Zeck one,
The Mike
Yeah.
Zeck stuff.
the
Mhm.
limited series one.
Yeah, there it is in the blood.
What's that?
The fourth one down.
Wow, you guys are fucking good.
In the blood right there.
In the
Up,
blood?
up right there. That one, yeah.
Look at you guys. Open with. Oh yeah. This one here?
No, that's not.
No.
No, that's from
No.
2011, bro.
No, so when you had this,
Old.
like 1980, 84, 83.
80,
whatever it was.
What's the name of it? Great podcasting, by the way. We're really fucking. Which one are we talking? What are we looking for?
It's titled Circle of Blood, but it's like the first Punisher miniseries. So
It was the old one, the Zeck one, right?
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, I should have it here. Where the fucking is it? There it is.
Yeah. That's hopefully it.
Oh, 86. Boom.
There it
There
is.
you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The infamous.
Yeah.
And these are covers that have been redone, man. These aren't the original covers here. So
It's just too bad, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
So
this
those
is from
original
a
ones.
it's from a trade, so they enhanced the covers a little bit. But dude, man, I was always a fan of fucking Zeck back in the day. Like when he did this shit, like, and this is it's very enhanced because of the reissue, but the covers were it was like airbrushed.
Mhm.
You know, it was just like it wasn't done. It didn't seem like it was done with pencil and paper. You know, it was just like it was just something out of the ordinary and different. You know. And this is it, man. This was it. Look at that. Look, go-go boots and everything, man. You know, everybody hates on the go-go boots, man, but that's my fucking Punisher.
What would be fun later is if we went over ridiculous storylines. Like we could do the one where Punisher has plastic surgery to
It
become
became
black.
a black guy, yeah. And he
Fucking-
teamed up with Luke Cage for a couple of issues, yeah.
Came back as an angel in Marvel Knights.
Now, did this?
Frankencastle.
It seems like this is. They took a little bit this for the series. Like this is like the whole fucking lunchroom fight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know, the mess hall fight that was in the Netflix series. So
So,
shout out to Jigsaw. That was my old producer name back in the day. My hip hop producer name, Jigsaw, because I took pieces of records and put them together, made beats.
That's a dope name.
Yeah, it's pretty genius. Pretty good. Pretty good. Not tooting my own horn, but yeah, I mean, this is super early, man. This is like they were just like he made guest appearances and whatnot, but they really didn't tap into like the potential of him. And Look at it. It's just basically a prison breakout, you know? That's it. Wasn't no super fucking heroes and shit like that. And oh, wow. Look at that. Back to war. Awesome. This whole fucking, I mean, we'll go through the covers real quick. And I really hate the fact that this is an enhanced copy, but
I had that poster.
yeah, that's a dope poster, man. That's something that I can hang in the crib right there. Frame it up and hang it.
Word, Mervine had a good idea because it's October. Batman: The Long Halloween.
Oh,
I have that series up here. I got the books too. This was dope too, man. It was different.
I love that's another artist, Tim Sale.
Oh, wait a minute. I went too far. Yikes. How do I get back?
Oh God! See, those were the annuals I was talking about.
Yeah,
where
the evolutionary.
Yeah, the evolutionary.
Oh, God.
Bad stuff. Bad stuff. No, go away. No, go away. All right. So
I'm a 90s comics fan, but man, there's some bad stuff that came out of it.
Oh, definitely,
dude.
Yeah.
I know we talk about the good, but a lot of some of the bad was good too, but there's a lot of bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
the 90s stuff. I mean, you got, like you showed earlier, the JR Thor stuff is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And that was written by another artist. That was written by Dan Jurgens.
And I didn't even know that he did that, man. When I mentioned him, I didn't even know. And I had the book. You know, when you download torrents, you just get all of them, and you don't go through everything at first. You know, like I didn't even know he had a run on that. I mean, I was far out comics by that time, man. I was out.
But like Darius and Gabe, would you agree? Like he's changed his entire style again for the Batman book he just did.
I think he has.
What, nowadays he's still writing. He's still drawing.
But he has what he called a deadline style. So it's a little more. There's a lot of blockiness to it, and he leaves a lot of the work open to like his inker. Like I think Tom Palmer still inks him.
Now, I mean, honestly, man, and this is what I said, man. I think. And the same thing that goes for anything like music and movies and TV. But like, the more the technology gets better, the lazier the fucking the artists get. You know, the people get that are part of that. You know, it really is. Like, really is.
You have artists now like Mike Diodato that used to be a wonderful artist, but nowadays it's all a lot of like computer generated clips that he just kind of photoshops into his art.
Jesus, man, come on. You know, I would love to go back and just like read a fucking book that's fucking done on paper, like old format, man.
I like it when the art back here in the day where the coloring wasn't quite right, it was coming out the lines, and
yeah,
when it's remastered like this, it's nice now, but it just doesn't have that same feel or experience.
Yeah,
this is from the trade, so it's gonna be clean as fuck.
Yeah, that's it's too clean for me.
Yeah. Like if we had like an original fucking print of this, like. It would be more fucking rugged than this. I mean, it's still Zek, but it's not Zek. It seems like it's weird. It seems like it's
there's not all that zipatone he uses. It's kind of faded away. It's not on there anymore.
Yeah, it looks like a pop art I'm looking at right now.
Yeah, and that's what that's what you get when you
like a flash.
Shout out to that guy who fucking. Let me see if I had the War Journal shit that was in there. Let's see. Punisher Max Series 1 version 9.
You can always do a Transformer one too one day too.
That's gonna be fun, man.
Yeah.
I love the old Transformer books, man. I really did.
I never really read it, but I listening to you guys talk about it, just like like Soundwave or Shockwave was like such the major villain.
Yeah, he was a fucking bad.
Yeah.
He totally came in and it was so cool because you know what? I didn't have all the toys and I was a fan of the comic book, but I mean of the cartoon, but the comic book, like it just gave you a different feeling, a different universe, you know. It was just like any toys that you had could have been in that comic book, you know, if you didn't have all the major characters.
Yeah, totally.
It's not here. I don't know why the fuck I don't have it.
About the Transformers series too, like even in its final run. And then when they did that before they canceled it after Generation 2, I really enjoyed the artwork in Generation 2. It was so dark and grit. And
didn't he do Hero for Hire in the 90s? Ramita do Hero for Hire? No, that's the old Hero for Hire. That's the old one. That's the old. What's the? But it was Cage. It was Cage. Cage. Didn't Ramita do that?
I don't think so.
I don't remember him doing much any like Luke Cage series.
No, I thought. Oh, that was Dwayne Turner. I thought he did this
Turner, yeah.
fucking book, man. All right, so my memory is totally in the fucking shit fucking phase right now. So I'm stopping this.
There's so much to remember, man. What are you gonna do?
Right.
If you do that War Journal, you could do that Jim Lee section where it has that.
I couldn't find it.
Punisher
It wasn't
versus
in there,
Wolverine.
man. The War Journal wasn't in there. It's funny. I thought I definitely had that because I downloaded that Punisher torrent and had everything in there. It could be that I may have moved it to look for something or push it to someone else's. You know, when because I give hard drives out with all the shit for friends, so I might have moved it somewhere on my computer that I'm looking at something, so don't mind me. Keep talking. Couple of beers and very fucking
Yeah, because that Jim Lee run had that great cover where Punisher had or Wolverine had his claws out with the Punisher shirt.
well, that was wasn't that was the Punisher series, right?
Yeah, that was
The basic one. It wasn't the War Journal. Wasn't that just like when he came back in the 90s with the Punisher? Was that version 1?
I think that was War Journal though.
Oh man, I don't fucking remember. I just got too many.
Or was it Warzone? War Journal, Warzone?
No, Warzone was the Ramita one.
Right.
I just pulled out number 1 out of my long box today, and I smiled at it.
Yeah,
I was going
yeah.
through
It
it.
was
I'm
War
like, oh,
Journal.
man.
War Journal number
yeah.
6 is that cover. That's 6
War
and 7.
Journal was Punisher, then it was War Journal, then it was Punisher Warzone. Warzone, I believe, was the Ramita stuff.
This one had that die cut cover. With all the
Yeah,
blue.
oh man,
Yeah.
the die cuts. Remember the die cut cover?
I remember the die cuts, man. Yeah.
Oh, you know what I have from the Punisher, and I got probably 5 of them when they did the brown paper, cover.
Yes.
It was like a lunch bag paper brown. It was brown. Oh man,
I remember, I forget who did the book, but there was a book called The Badger. And the gimmick for the cover was there was a hole through the cover. And what it did was it lined up with the final panel where the Badger gets shot.
On the head. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was a die cut too with the
It was Malibu that was doing that back in the day.
Yeah,
No, it wasn't Badger because Badger was that weird book from.
Wait, it started with an M though. I'm pretty sure.
wasn't Badger Malibu?
I don't know.
No, that's First Comics.
First
It was-
Comics. The Badger.
It was a Protectors that had the bullet hole from Malibu.
Okay. Man, I used to collect Ultra Force,
Prime.
Nightman I enjoyed from Malibu. Men in Black.
Or there was that book that Image put out. What was it called? Blood Strike that had where you rub the blood and the blood would come on the cover.
I never knew about that one.
wow, that's crazy. Yo, they were going nuts with those fucking covers, man.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it was awesome though. I think I have a couple of copies of it, dude.
I remember
what?
the holofoil, the holograms,
Holla, holla, holla.
die cuts, the glow in the dark.
Dude, but those glow in the dark ones are great. Like that Ghost Rider glow in
Yeah,
the
I
dark.
got about 10. I got 10 copies of that fucking book sitting in the fucking box doing nothing.
The one that always freaked me out was Mark Gruenwald that I mentioned before. When he
Yeah,
died, he had his
the
ashes fucking put into the ink for one of the trade paperbacks of Squadron Supreme.
That's crazy.
It's fucking nuts.
Yeah, Kiss did that with their
With their
comic,
blood,
too.
yeah,
With
with their
their
blood.
oversized magazine comic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't fucking find. I gotta fucking look tomorrow, man. I'm searching and going through this. I must have dropped it into another folder or some shit like that. But I had I think it was like fucking 60 gigs. I fucking downloaded the Punisher books, 100 gigs, some shit like that.
It's a lot of Punisher, man.
All right, we're starting to fade out here, guys. We're fading out. So what's up? You guys want to keep it rolling? You want to do something? It would keep it going afterwards. Get some people in here. We'll talk a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm broadcast to be fine.
All right, so we're gonna stop the broadcast. Thank you guys, Gabe. Sorry you came in late.
It's all good.
But next time, just hit me up or hit me up with your info. I'll hit you up if we're gonna do this again. Like I said, we're testing the waters here, so let us know if this is something that you're interested in. If you want us to continue it, I'm not saying weekly, but we could do something maybe every couple of weeks. Do an hour or so with this, where we go through some old timelines and comics, and of course, the covers is what brought us into all this. And when you walk up to the rack, that's what you see, and that's what you grab. You know, it's all about the cover. So, working title, deep cover.
Judging books by the cover, man.
Yeah. Yep. Don't judge your books by the cover, because you know what, you may get a guest penciler. A bad inker and a terrible fucking
or even today where the covers don't match the art inside whatsoever.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that's the worst. Like they used to fucking honey badgers. Like they put a fucking great artist on the cover and you pick it up, you're like, what the fuck is this? Especially if you don't have time. Like I went to a shop, like everything was in bagged and boarded, like even the new stuff, like you couldn't even open it. They wouldn't even like you go out, man. They would charge you for the bags and boards. I'm like, man, fuck you, dude. Just lay it on a table like everybody else, you know. Lay it on a table.
I remember when bags and boards were free when you bought your comic books, man.
They are with mine.
Yeah, they always give it to you.
Yeah, you remember back when when they gave you the bags and boards for free, and then later on they were like,
well, everything at my store, everything gets bagged and boarded.
Yeah, I went to this one spot and we'll be like, where's the bags and boards? Oh, we don't do that anymore. What do you mean you don't do it anymore? Well, you could buy them. 15 cents. You know, they're like trying to like a dime for the board and 5 cents for the bag or whatever the fuck it was. Like
back California to charge you for shopping bags.
Back then, I had fucking tons of that shit, man. I had fucking I had my own fucking stack of boards and bags at home, man. Fuck that. I'm going Mylar, bitch.
That's right. These are my lights.
Oh man, I love my lights, man.
Yeah.
They just fucking make a book pop. You just put a book in there, and it's like, wow, I love this. It's like fucking a filter. It's like a pop chat filter or a Snapchat filter or whatever kids are using nowadays. All right, man, we're gonna wrap this up. Don't forget to check out all the shows on the Realm of Collectors Podcast Network. We're growing every day, more and more and more. Just let us know any new content. You got an idea? You want to do a show? Hit me up. Let's talk. Well, maybe we can work something out. You know. Change your format up, be a little bit different, think out the box. So my name is Dust Mites. Thank you for joining us for Deep Cover. It's a liquid therapy version of Deep Cover. And thanks for everybody that popped in. Shout out to Walt that bounced and Frogman, who was having internet connection issues. I just don't think he's a big comic guy. I'm just saying. Just keep it out. Bramalam, thank you for joining us, man. Shout out to your new show on the Realm of Collectors Network on Fridays.
Thanks for having us.
Masterpiece Shit Piece Theater. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's very informative, very funny. A different show. A wide variety of topics per episode. Enjoy it a lot. So make sure you get in there, get in the chat, and talk with these guys. Agent H.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, is that a prototype behind you, a test shot of a certain Marvel Legends figure we shouldn't be saying, or are you just playing with us? Exactly. You know what it is. Gabe, man, thanks for popping in late, man. But, you know, you were very active in the chat, giving us information and being our wingman.
No, man, I appreciate it, man. I'm always here for you guys.
Yeah, man, definitely. We'll definitely talk. And if this is something that you want to go forward with, we could trim the fat. And... it's a bad joke, but you know, work on a format. You know, this is still early stages of what we want to do, but I think it's kind of cool, like to have the whole visual stimulation of showing the covers and dipping in a little bit to the inner artwork and talking about artists and, you know, writers and where they went with things. I mean, it's a cool, and it was a cool era. You know, let's face it, it was what made what we're getting today. You know, so. That's just me. So, shout out to everybody that's in the chat. I'm not running through it. So, fuck you, fuck this guy, fuck that. And we're out. Unbroadcasted Hangout. Link will be in the Facebook group. Oh, wait a minute. It already is. So, go into the Realm of Collectors Facebook group and find a link and join us if you want to pop in here and talk some shit after the show. Thank you very much. My name is Dust Mites on vacation. Enter the Realm tomorrow night. We got TF Con this week. Shout out to TF Con. Shout out to fucking flying to Chicago. I hate fucking flying. It is what it is. Talk to you guys soon. Peace.
Peace.
Anybody got anything? Nothing.
Nope.